Hello. Hey, so this is Sprout, and I'm going to show you how to play. So you go to help here, and then you click next, 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 and then you know how to play. And if that didn't work for you, keep watching, because I'm going to show you how it all works. So click start to start, and this is probably what you're going to see. Ignore this little black leaf, it doesn't exist, it's weird. So, Sprout is a game about editing the genomes of plants, and then going into a little garden and planting them, and seeing a little garden grow, and throwing bees around. You can grab the bees. Yeah, so we're pretty much just going to go through the process of making a plant here. Some things to note down at the bottom here. You have all your different seeds that you can load in. These are the 10 different plants that you can make. And these do save to your computer. I will keep a link in the description as to where that saves to in case you want to delete those files. But yeah, so we're just going to click one of these slots here. I'm going to click slot number 1 because that's cool. And clear it to get rid of that thing and save it. And yeah, so there are presets that you can load in. There are the grass tuft and the poppies. We can just load in the grass tuft actually. As I click load in there, you can see it makes 2 plant pieces for us. The grass root over here and the grass blade. And there you go. And as you notice, as I click on each of these, it previews it in the preview window. So this is a single grass blade. But if I click on the grass root, then it'll try and simulate what the grass root will do. So the grass root is going to spawn a bunch of these grass blades, but then the grass blades don't do anything by themselves. So that's why when I click on it, it just, it's just that. Yeah, so we have all these options on the side here. This is actually how you edit the genome. So right now we're editing this little nub down here. This is the grass root itself. So if we say wanted to make this red, look at that, it's red. All the grass blades are still going to be green, but the grass root is red because we're editing that plant piece. Then there's all the weights, there's the surface type, there's all these different pictures. The physics tag, we'll get back to that later. The bud shape, there's only one shape for the buds, but other things have multiple shapes. The length, so you can make a long, look at that, a long bud, and then it all spawns from up there. And the thickness, you can make that really big, and then all the grass kind of like sloughs up the side. We're going to keep this pretty short and small. It's a little nub in the floor that spawns a bunch of grass around it. Then down here we have the cap spawn, which is on the top, and the radial spawn, which you can see is already linked up to the grass blade. So now, if we were to, for example, click on the cap spawn here and then select the grass blade, we'll have another singular grass blade popping at the top. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but if we were, for example, to click the grass root as well, you would notice that it's going to create another grass root up here, and then another one. And this will go on indefinitely, but in the previewer, it just kind of limits how much you can do, so it doesn't just overflow and fill up your screen. But you can do that in the garden if you want, if you water it enough. So, I mean, sure, let's keep it that. Let's keep it that now, in case we want to make lots of grass in a single area. You can also change the radial count, the spawn tilt, and let's actually change the shape of the grass as well. Let's make it fancy. So we have some spiky edges here. We have a heart-shaped grass. We have another grass. Let's have the heart-shaped grass. That's cool. Stiffness we'll keep low. It's going to be a floppy grass. It's going to be pretty... Actually, maybe it'll be long, but it'll also be wide. Like a frond. And then let's maybe change down the number of that, so it's only 5. There we go. We have thick, heart-shaped grass that goes up and up slowly. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to change this back to green, because I like green. Cool. So that is a basic plant, pretty much. It's just 2 pieces, but they apply recursively, and you can take this pretty far. I'm going to show you how to do some different examples, but one thing to note before we get too far is whenever you're making a plant, you have to edit the seed in the bottom right here, just below Go to Garden, or just above Go to Garden. You have to choose the seed spawn. So what is the first piece that gets made? So when you plant your seed, it's going to create, for example, grass root here. You just click on this and you can select anything you want. If you have nothing selected, or if you just start a normal plant, and if you haven't set this already, it's just going to be nothing, and then your plant won't grow. Just keep that in mind. So yeah, we have grass tuft here, and we're going to name it grass hearts. Why not? And you'll see, as we do that, we can see it says grass hearts. So let's go to slot 2 now, and I wanted to make a mushroom for a while. I don't actually know if this is possible, so if this doesn't work nicely, I'm terribly sorry. That shouldn't be happening. I don't know why that is linking up to the grass root. Let's set it to nothing. And we're going to make this like a pale beige desaturated. Choose a more desaturated looking. There we go, that's a nice mushroom stalk. Cap spawn, we will have a bud for this. And the bud I'm going to keep dark white. Actually, yeah, that's a nice one. That's also... See, okay. Ignore when it cross-pollinates like that. I don't know why it does that. That's a bug. But if it does that, just don't worry about it. Radial spawn, we're going to keep that to nothing as well. And we're going to make this a wide and pretty... a wide and pretty short boy. Like that, like a mushroom cap. And now let's see if we can make another one. I want to make... Yeah, actually, I was going to make this pretty red. Pretty bright red. Just unlink these cross-pollination things. And let's put in the radial spawn as this one. I'm going to put the radial spawn up to like 7. You might see it's going to pop out the sides here. But what we can do is we can tilt this up. Oh, that's the tilt random. Tilt up here. There we go. And now if we shrink these down, it might start looking like little blobs. So the length and the thickness, right there. Little mushroom. Looks like a cake almost, but it's kind of there. We do that. I'll take it. That's my little mushroom. Yeah. So we have the funky stem, which at the cap of this is going to spawn the funky bud. And then it's going to spawn all the things. There's a little mushroom. Look at that. Yeah. So we're going to edit the seed, and we're going to set this as the funky stem. There we go. And call this little mushroom. Yay. Save that. There you go, little mushroom. And okay, that's odd. It's added the grass roots and the grass blade to this one as well. That shouldn't be the case. But I'll see if it breaks anything. Anyway, let's make one more. A poppy. We'll load in the poppy preset. Load preset. And we will edit seed, make sure it's set up there. It is. And say it real quick. Check this poppy. Yep. Okay. So poppies are pretty fun. It's just a little flower. You're not going to see the full thing grow here, but it essentially just goes into a multi-budded red petal thingy like that. Oh, it might grow. Not too sure. But what I want to show you is this pretty much goes from stem 1 to stem 2 over here, and then it goes to bud base. So if on bud base I add a physics tag, right? I could make this physics tag named anything. I could make it named none, which will have no effect. I could make it named bee, and it will react to bees in the world. Or I could have it react to other plant pieces. So for example, if I name this special bud, like that, and I copy the name, then I go into the physics tag over here, and I paste that name. Now, whatever I have here, negative 100 to positive 100, it will react to any other special buds in the world with that. That's odd. But yes, we're going to have positive 100, which means it's going to be attracted to any other special buds. Yeah, and that should have all the poppies clump up together. I hope it works. Let's find out. Save that. We have a poppy, little mushroom, and grass hearts. Let's go see what we can make. So, once you're in the garden, you have a bunch of tools available. You have grab, secateurs, watering, and the plant seed. So, first of all, you're going to have to plant your seeds. So we're going to have some, let's start with some grass hearts. Just along the edge, fill it out. And then you can see all the bees are starting to buzz around the buds here. You can start watering it. So you have to click on the, or near the root. Watering the actual plant itself, like the top of the plant, can get a little bit, it often doesn't reach. So just try to get as close to the roots as possible. I think it's how you're supposed to do it anyway, in real gardening. Yeah, so we're going to give these a little bit of water. These will grow indefinitely, so the more you water them, the more grass will make. So let's not make it like too much. I think these have kind of reached their limit here. And if we go to here and we plant some little mushrooms, bonk, donk, 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 and we water these. Is this going to work? Look at that. We have got our little mushrooms. Donk, Little mushrooms, little red caps on the top. Making all the little bees buzzing around, bumping into things. I should make a little sound effect when they bump into things. But lastly, let's try plant the poppies. So we're going to plant a little circle of them here. That's a pretty good circle. And then we're just going to water them over and over and over. Give them lots of water. And so there you go, you can start seeing the buds there. And so because all the buds are attracted to each other, they form in the circle, in the center here, and just keep on getting attracted. And they form one mega poppy. And yeah, it works surprisingly well. And then there's just this little nest of poppies here, which looks like they're having some kind of cult meeting. So yeah, you can drag these and pull them away. They're a little bit stiff. There you go. You can grab everything and pull it around. It's all physicsy. And if you don't like how anything looks, so let's say, for example, we think, oh, I mean, this is pretty big. I kind of want to trim that back. Just grab the secateurs and click on the part that you don't want, and just throw it away. And it'll fall off into the abyss. And you can kind of trim your plants and do some Zen gardening. There you go. Look at all that. We've got a little garden. So that's pretty much it. That is Sprout. Hope you enjoy. And if you make anything, please do show us on the itch page. I love seeing people's gardens. I've seen some along the way, and it's really nice to see people engage with the game. So if you make anything, just take a little screenshot, send it to me. I will much appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy. Yeah. Cheerio.